I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stock. I am also the host of a radio show called Turning Hard Times into Good Times. It airs every Tuesday on the Voice America Business Channel. And you can catch my interviews, my guests, the interviews that I've done the following day at jtaylormedia.com. I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum. It is January 18th, 2019. And I'm here with John Anderson. He is the chairman of Triumph Gold. It's a company that I have, one of my larger holdings. I'm not a big investor, but it's one that I think is really important. It is a story I think you're going to hear a lot more about in 2019, and some really spectacular drill results, I would say, last year. Thanks for joining me again.
Jay, thanks for having me. And first of all, I appreciate you having me here and having me on your radio show in the past. And more importantly, thanks for being an investor.
Well, I like to invest in things I believe in. That's the only way to go, right? And I like to have people come here that I think have exciting stories, and that's certainly. So it's the Freegold Mountain project that you picked up. Another company had it. They did quite a bit of work. They had, I think, if memory serves me correctly, something over 4 million ounces of gold equivalent ounces, low grade, in a couple of different deposits on this massive project. But you came in with a fresh set of eyes, you and your team. You have some excellent, very strong geos that are working with you. And with a sort of looked at it differently. Could you talk about what's the vision there now, and certainly maybe talk a little bit about some of your progress last year in your exploration?
Great, thanks. Well, as you know, we took over the project in early 2015 after being involved in it as investors and financiers. And the former management did a great job doing exploration and developing the project. Unfortunately, with the markets falling apart and a real tough time, they were in a difficult situation and couldn't finance in 2015. And that's where myself and our partners came in and said, look, it's got a resource. You mentioned 4 million ounces equivalent. If indicated and inferred, it's probably larger than that. Mm-hmm. But we knew in 2015 those ounces weren't worth a lot of money. You would have needed a very low grade. Well, low grade for the Yukon.
Right.
High grade for many areas.
Yeah.
But in the Yukon, with the lack of infrastructure and the capital cost, you need something more substantial. You need either size or grade. Mm-hmm. And we knew at a higher gold price, this project was worth a lot. So with my philosophy and personal constitution that we are going into a higher gold price, not all commodities, that this project would be worth a lot of money later on. And that was our hypothesis. So we got behind it, and we literally just protected the asset. Unfortunately, in 2016, Goldcorp showed up in the area, and they paid a lot of money for our neighbor, being Kaminak Resources. They paid $520 million. So our philosophy of just waiting for $1,500, $1,600 gold was kind of thrown out the window because there was a lot of pressure on us. And why that is that we have the gateway geographical location, not just geological location, to what they would need. We've got a government maintaining road that comes off the Klondike Highway, goes through the property, and access the entire 200 square kilometers. So with the low-grade resource, fairly substantial, we knew we had something. So we weren't getting value for those ounces, as people would say, market cap per ounce. We weren't getting that value. So we looked at it differently. We looked at the exploration potential, and that's where we hired who I think is an incredible person, Tony Baresi, who's our VP of exploration. And he looked at it independently, and he realized, looking at the old data and what the potential for the project was, that there's gold everywhere. There's alluvial mining, which are placer mines going on in the project. There's 3 active ones. There's epithermal. There's porphyry potential. There's incredible epithermal. There's a polymetallic as part of the 43-1 deposit. So let's go look at it exploration-wise. So that's what encouraged us to go raise more money, and let's just try to explore that. And that's really what we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah. And you had a spectacular, spectacular maybe overstating it, I don't know, it was very, very good. One of the best porphyry intersections in the Yukon for sure. The blue sky target. Talk to us a little bit about that. You had something like 300.
I would actually say understated, because what we drilled and what Tony came up with was in 2017 was he followed up on his exploration model outside of the mineralized zones and came up with this theory, and he hit it in 2017, but it was a small little intersection, but he hit it, and then he hit it 3.5 kilometers away on another drill hole.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
Throughout the off season, they vectored in and took all this data and came up with a target. And in 2018, they knocked it out of the park, where they hit a new number of holes in 2 areas just outside of that resource where they nailed it. They hit porphyry mineralization over 300 meters, over 1 gram of gold, over 0.3% copper, so that's over 1.5% copper. And those are what the big guys are looking for, and we've hit it on 7 holes.
And at what depth?
We picked it up at 200 meters, went down to 700 meters. And I know a lot of people think that's deep, but that's, if you look at the New Afton mine, which is a porphyry, buried porphyry, it's been mining, it's New Gold's cash cow. And I think the best comparison would be in Ecuador with Sol Gold, where they hung around, same model we have, same stage where we were 2 years ago, and they hit a porphyry at 700 meters. And they've got a $2 billion market cap.
Yeah.
And that's what we're after, and we think we're close to it.
So what are your plans? Have you formed plans for your drill program this year, or is that still in the process now?
That's still in the process right now, and why that is you asked how far we drill, and we drilled down 600 meters. We've done IP work down to 1,200 meters. It's 1.5 kilometers, almost a mile. We're waiting for the final interpretation. We've been working with 2 of our major shareholders, which is one being Gold Corp and the other is Zijin Mining, and utilizing their knowledge and technical expertise in the area and of how we're going to handle this and move this thing forward. So we're still in that process, but one thing we do know is that we've already drilled the deepest hole in what we think is the richest porphyry ever in the Yukon, and we're even going to drill a lot deeper.
You're going to drill a lot deeper. You expect you'll put some really deep holes down in 2019 there?
That's the game plan.
That's the game plan.
Yep.
And how's your budget? How's your kitty? How much money do you have in the?
Right now, we're we couldn't fund that right now, so we'll be looking at that. But again, we have very strong shareholders, and if anyone looks at the historical financings of this company, we've done it with major investors, and what we have is a real, I think, best risk reward opportunity in the marketplace. And so you just look at the blue sky porphyry and what we have the potential of. Why wouldn't you get into this thing at this market cap, let alone all the other exploration potential and projects we have within that property package?
Right. So we'll be watching what you've put together this year. It's going to be an exciting year, I think. I don't know what else. Anything else you'd like to add before we?
I'd just like to thank, I truly believe that we're going into one heck of a bull market, and what we offer is a great risk reward, not just on the current assets, but if we are fortunate to hit down below and hit, some of these other, bornite-based projects and compare to that, we're off to the races, let alone some of the other news that we've still got to come out from last year's exploration project. So we're so excited.
Yeah, I think your gold equivalent on that large 360 meter, whatever it was, something like that, was 1.7 grams per ton gold equivalent. And if you have those kind of grades over very large areas, you can make a lot of money, even if it is at depth, I think so.
It's over a quarter mile.
So it's very
Put that in perspective.
Very interesting, John. Thank you very much for being with us today. It's really great.
It's awesome seeing you, and thanks for being a shareholder.
You bet.